Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 1. It's called Out of Time. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. You know, I'm just going to say it, I like this episode.
I was really worried you were gonna not like it because I quite liked it as well. I was like, "Oh, please don't make me have to argue this. I've
Uh,
done this before, and I don't want to do it again."
and you know, the thing is, it was obviously there's some nitpicks, right? There was some
I
nitpicks
have
you
a
could have,
few. I have one
but
probably more major problem than just a nitpick, but
regardless, it was a fun episode, and we'll get into why it's fun in a minute. But I'm concerned because this happened last year. The first couple
yeah,
episodes were a lot of fun, and we said, "Oh, this is quite good. This could be a really good new show." And then steadily, almost just completely, sort of gradually, this decline of quality over the season to the point where we got to about episode 8 or 9, and we just hated ourselves and wanted a quick, merciless death.
my hope is that obviously they've refreshed a few things. They got rid of the Hawks, changed some stuff around. I'm hoping they've learned from the mistakes. They've gone, okay, we know what didn't work. Let's sort this out.
Well, they seem to be playing up the comedy a bit more, which says to me, all right, we realise this isn't going to be taken too super seriously. We'll focus on making it fun and having fun moments rather than trying to do plots that are, you know, deep.
Yeah,
Because
and that's always when the show was at its best.
yes, so hopefully that holds. And there's other reasons why as much as I'm a little concerned because of the decline last year, there are reasons why I am hopeful. One of them being that yes, the Hawks are gone. We might see them again at some point, but the worst part of that show last year was absolutely the forced romance between Kendra and Ray. That was just.
Absolutely. I love how there was not even a mention of it in this.
I don't even think the Hawks are mentioned
That
once.
they aren't, not once. When they took, because we get the new guy, and he's like, "Oh, all the other legends." It's like he doesn't even notice the Hawks are not part of it. He never knew. That's how insignificant they were.
Yeah. The other hopeful thing is the villains. When we reviewed the first episode of The Flash last week, we spoke about how great Reverse Flash was and how fun he was and how the actor was really pulling it off. And he's actually going to be more of a main character on this show because obviously the villains are going to be the Legion of Doom, which is a assemble team of villains from all the shows we've had already. So we've got Reverse Flash and Damien Dahrk that they've revealed so far. Now, admittedly, we already kind of know who the others are from promo pics and descriptions.
Yeah, if memory serves me,
Ra's
we're
al,
getting
Ra's al Ghul's one of them.
and Malcolm Merlin, I think.
Was Malcolm Bell another one? Yeah, I knew there was four. But no, but when he sped in at the end, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like,
And I didn't even hate Damien Dark in this.
no,
He didn't do it. He wasn't particularly great. He didn't do all that much.
yeah, he
But
didn't. Yeah.
considering how my feelings of him are after last season of Arrow, I should have been going ugh every time I saw him on screen, and I didn't.
Especially since Sarah was like wanting vengeance for something that happened in that season of Arrow, but
Yeah,
it was never that much of an issue. I also, it's funny because when they actually have a fight, I was paying close attention because one of the things we complained about in Arrow last season was every time Damien Dart was in a fight scene, his stunt double was super obvious and it was really awkward. And I noticed him a couple of times in this, but I think having the hat on really helped a lot.
it's worth it. You were looking for it though. I don't think
I
it was
was,
it
yeah,
was nowhere near as bad as on Arrow.
yeah, I was looking for it. That is a fair point. But yeah, so no, so yeah, and it was kind of this moment of glee that I had when Reverse Flash swooped in. I'm like, you know what? We really kind of have a connected universe now of like multiple things. Like, there's now four of these shows, and now a team of villains on this show are made up of past villains from the other shows. Like,
Yeah,
it really feels like it's part of a connected world, and
it is because it's one thing that the heroes are kind of made up from the other shows, but the villains is it does elevate it a bit.
especially when Reverse Flash is, in terms of that actor, we didn't get to see a whole lot of him because it was mainly a different face for most of that first season of Flash.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see more of him. So yeah, so that was a moment of hope. Other moments of hope, of course, I would say is the stuff that's fun. I thought the opening scene was a good deal of shenanigans. I loved Jax like jumping off the side of the building to like land on
He
Stein.
did he did the full Assassin's Creed dive off the side of the building.
And I knew what he was about to do. Like, I got what the plan was. It was kind of obvious, but it was just it was still fun to see him like dive right into Stein, and then
Yeah, and then Rip's reaction
yeah,
was fun.
yeah, yeah, because it was almost like a comedy version of like everything Rip was complaining about last season. Is they're all using their powers and they're all doing these futuristic things.
He's just at the end like, oh bloody hell.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, another running joke I really liked in this one actually is Sarah constantly seducting various women in the past. She's almost like a complete horn dog now.
It's just kind of how she started last season, because we had the stuff in,
Yeah, and then they forgot about it.
and then they forgot about it and just made her boring again.
But it's really fun because like Jack's saying to her, "Oh, I see," because obviously they're there to make sure that she has sex with her new husband because it's the French dynasty of whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember all the names. There was a lot of French names getting thrown at me in that opening scene. I didn't take notes, but and he's like, "Oh, you got her all hot and ready." Then I see, and then later on she's like, "No, she's just me." But the moment that it really made me laugh though was when they get scattered across time. And she's in the Salem witch trials, and the guy's like, "You've corrupted the women of this village." It's like, "Oh, they wanted to be corrupted." And she looks over at one of them, just winks.
Yeah. I also liked it when Jax was making that joke, and she was like, "I will gouge your eyes out and feed them to you."
Then she punches his arm as they walk away. It was it was jovial and it was
It
enjoyable.
it was having banter, which is fun. It just is. It's the best part of it.
Which it seemed to forget to do for like the last 2/3 of season 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
So that's good. I also really liked how it started. Not so much because we get an Oliver Queen set up for the episode, but more just that I liked that it started because it's funny because we compared Timeless, which we won't spoil Timeless, but we said Timeless was a lot like Legends of Tomorrow in premise, and I think it's funny that we said on the last episode of Timeless that we hope at some point there's a conspiracy theorist who has like evidence of them all existing over all these different times, and then this episode of Legends starts with that exact thing, with this guy being like, "Oh, there's like him back in ancient Egypt, and she's back here, and there's a drawing of him there," and
I also liked it. I had fun with it. He goes, "Oh, come on, you arrived, and then you arrived back in Star City, and then a week later the Arrow showed up. Doesn't take a genius."
I have to admit, I had a moment of stupidity with his introduction. I didn't quite understand what he said. Because this show's about time travel, I took him literally when he said he was a time detective.
So did I at first. I thought he was from the future.
So when he knew that he was Green Arrow, I just assumed it's because he's from the future and it's knowledge to him.
No, I did too, don't worry.
Yeah. And then it wasn't until
he said that, when he goes, "Oh, it doesn't take a genius to put it together from that," is when I figured it out.
I didn't even get it from that, because even when he said that, I thought he was just giving the example of how obvious it was.
Right.
It wasn't until later where Oliver said he was a historian, and then he started freaking out about getting to travel in time. I'm like, oh, he's just a historian?
Yeah. Do you know what? Note to historians. Time detective is a cooler name, but don't use it.
Yeah, no. See, that makes me think you're actually traveling through time, solving crimes.
Like I said, it's a much cooler name, and maybe there should be a petition to get that like a real thing. But for now, call yourself a historian.
But no. So I liked all that stuff. I like them. Like, they're in trouble. Why are they in trouble? It teased the mystery of what happened in 1942 all throughout the episode, and even the idea of like I'm going to the bottom of the ocean with Oliver to find the crashed ship.
Yeah, it's very goofy, isn't it?
Very goofy, very pulpy, but very fun. I've used that word a lot, but that's what it was. It was a fun episode.
Man, I'm kind of so relieved this was good.
Yeah, I was expecting bad after the last half of season 1.
Joy was, and then we had a trailer about a week ago, and I was like, this looks all right, like this looks pretty good. But I was, there's always that idea that it's just a well edited trailer.
Yeah.
But no, maybe we're all right.
Heatwave walking in saying he loves roasting Nazis as he's burning one alive. That's always fun.
It's great stuff.
Now, I mean, if I have complaints, and I probably do have some nitpicks. I have, Einstein was kind of goofy, like too goofy. Like it feels like some some guy's doing an Einstein impression.
Yeah, it did a bit. I think my personally biggest complaint was, when they all got scattered in time, and then when they're all rescued, it takes like 2 minutes. I almost think that could have been a couple of episodes.
Yeah, yeah, it almost feels like at least it's been a double length episode to start the season where it took like a good half hour
It could have
to.
done like 15 minutes going to each one, but it was like, now we get like 20 seconds of dinosaurs, 20 seconds of witch trials.
Yeah,
I can't remember the others.
I like seeing a dinosaur. I love. I mean, obviously the effects weren't as good as like a Jurassic Park movie, but I love that we have a reasonable looking dinosaur on a TV
Yeah,
show
it was
now.
it was more than acceptable.
Yeah, I think it's something I've really noticed on the internet is some people are really hard on the effects on these shows.
I mean, sure, if you compare them to like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, sure.
Hell, most movies don't compare
No,
very
no,
well to that.
that's what I mean. But you compare this to TV shows even 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is astonishingly good.
yeah. TV shows are doing a lot better than they used to. And no, so no, but I thought Dinosaur Time was fun. I thought Salem Witch Trials was fun. Maybe Firestorms wasn't as interesting because it was just this
Yeah,
medieval
yeah,
jester sort of thing.
yeah. Okay, that one I'm kind of okay with it being a 20-second
Yeah,
clip.
it wasn't that
But
interesting.
I would have loved to see like a good 10, 15 minutes of Sarah like just doing her stuff in that time.
Yeah, and dinosaurs.
Exactly, and dinosaurs. That doesn't need any more said.
I don't know what dinosaurs. Now I'm curious actually how because obviously just to sort of sum up the rest of the plot here. In 1942, they basically have to stop a nuclear bomb, or sorry, an atom bomb, as Einstein keeps correcting them, and basically to stop it underwater, Rip gets the ship in front of it, and he scatters the rest throughout time. Puts
Yeah.
Rory in the med bay because he's injured and he can't travel through time, so he just puts him in stasis for
For Oliver
60,
to find
60, 70 years, whatever that time difference is.
70.
70 odds. And he leaves him this message, and we don't know where Rip is in time. And he's been setting up throughout the episode that Jax knows all the ship mechanics and the engines and all that. Sarah knows how to fly, we knew that from last season. He's set them all up to get on without him. And we don't know where he is, so he could be missing for a while.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame because I do like him, but it gives a good purpose for them to come together for.
It does. It should be a good team building thing. And plus, I mean, I think Rip could do with maybe learning not to be such a buzzkill.
Yeah, yeah, well, that would be nice.
Because I was really feeling it in this episode at one point when everyone else was like cracking, lines and
Yeah,
making me smile and laugh here or there, and he was just complaining about this and that.
yeah,
Also, apparently Jax built a new room on the ship,
Yeah.
the library. Because the first time they went in there, I'm like, this wasn't here last season. There's a new secret room, but yeah.
no, that's all right. But obviously, also on top of that, other skills, Mick was Kronos and did all that stuff, so
Yeah.
he should know what he's doing.
Pretty much. So that's kind of it. Obviously, all on the cliffhanger. They all team all get together. They agree to take on the new historian dude, Haywood, and the what time period did it end at the end? Actually, I forget.
42 still,
Was it 42 still?
because it was after the Einstein symposium.
That's right. Yeah, because they went back to recorrect it so that the nuke couldn't happen. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And obviously the JSA show up. The whole team.
Not gonna lie, I did enjoy just seeing that.
Oh yeah, it was a nice cliffhanger. Like it was a nice
Yeah.
reveal at the end. Stargirl come flying in with her staff.
That was my favorite moment of the episode.
Of course
I
it
just
was.
can't help it.
Of course it was.
I love Stargirl too much.
So dare I say it was a good episode. I'm cautiously optimistic
Yeah.
about the rest of the season.
So what? If it can maintain this over the season, this is a fantastically staggering improvement.
It's amazing just how getting rid of the Hawks has helped so much, though.
Yeah.
They were like everything. Like their introduction was okay, but like I feel like they just got worse as time
They
went
were
on.
too tied to the plot for a start, more than anyone else, which kind of gave it an issue because it made it like feel like they had to have focus, and then they never built up the character to deserve that.
And then that awful romance was just
And then that was like, oh my god.
oh dear. But no. So yeah, promising start to season 2. So here's hoping, and I believe it is a full 22 episode season this year.
Oh, is it?
I think it is. Yeah. I've seen nothing to suggest that it's not.
I mean, makes sense if it's starting now with the others.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're going for the full season. So yeah, we will obviously be back for the next episode. Hopefully, we continue with these good spirits. Just leaves Arrow in the muddy, not so good
Hey,
area.
1 out of 4 is better than half.
That is true. That is very, very true. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. Let us know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Get us on Twitter at @mild_fuzz. Keep watching TV, guys. We'll see you next time.